Hey guys, I've finished spray painting the Enterprise, lower hull and the upper hull here, or saucer, and the color is fantastic. It is an excellent color. I love it. Love it. Love it more the second time I've used it than the first. I did find some problems with it though. I still have an old bottle of the stuff I used to have, and the color has changed on it slightly. It's darker than it used to be. And, you know, you might be asking, I like to, a lot of you know I like to airbrush more. And I don't really like these little spray cans. They cost a lot, and they're just kind of like this big spray. I like having the control of an airbrush more. But the color is not the same. You don't get the same nice finish on here as you do with the little acrylic pots. That's one of the nice benefits of using the lacquer. But it looks good. I did find a way how to mount the engines on here. I glued them on temporarily. This one's a little more stuck. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Like, I just put a little dab of glue on the peg and just put them on there and let them dry. That way I could, keep them on there. So now I've got to actually take these apart. This is really easier to paint, and plus they don't fit properly, so I've got to sand down a little bit of them. But I think it went really well. Like I said, I got the acrylic gunmetal here, so I'm going to tilt this up just a tad. There we go. I use the display stand to paint on. And then just like that. And I had to use the base here, the round base. I wasn't too, I was thrilled about. But then I came up with I thought of an idea. It would be kind of cool, like to have the dome here, and prime it, and then paint it to look like a planet. So it looks like the ship is flying over, orbiting the planet. But I'm not sure what kind of plastic this is. I don't think it's styrene. I think it's like a regular plastic, so it might not pick up the paint as much. But still, I think it would look really cool to do for like an original series Enterprise, especially. So yeah, the gunmetal works well. One of the other things I was a little worried about is Tamiya seems to have changed their colors. I've had quite a few paints. Like biggest one for me was olive drab. They changed it and it got darker somehow. And this gunmetal is a newer bottle compared to the older one that I have. Here's the old bottle. I still have a bit of it in here, that's why I keep it. It's for the other Enterprise I have. And yeah, they have changed the color. It is darker than what it used to be. And when this is in light, you can see. Nah, it doesn't do it justice, but it's kind of more of a thing you gotta see with your eye, but it almost looks kind of black and coal-like, and but I think once I start adding the silver, it will it'll start to appear more and be much nicer. It's especially if you're doing like Aztec decaling or Aztec masking. You're putting all those stickers on there. This for a base coat, probably the best thing, I think. And then you put another silver on top of it. I think it would look really cool. I'm making the base for it right now. Actually, not me, but I have someone who's making the resin base for me. So I'm gonna try taking off some of the masks in here and see how they. Nope. Okay. Down on. Oh, there we go. Oh, so the stuff worked. That's pretty cool. I'll show you on the bottom one. It'll probably be easier. It's better to use like a toothpicks and there we go. Come on. It's being a little stubborn. There we go. I got just a little bit more here to clean, but it's not catching it really. I don't know why it's not even getting in there. I think I know what might have happened. I got this little bit of a trail of it in here. I'm pretty sure that is the masking being thin. I bet you that's actually painted on there. I was a little worried about that. Like, here's the engines. No, those ones won't work. There we go. Oh, that's really cool. So I gotta remove like all the maskings and stuff on it. They look pretty good. Like I said, this looks a lot better now that it's removed. You know, you can see the white in it now and kind of frosted over. It is much better now that it's against the darker background. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I don't even have to remove the window maskings. The next step is to start painting. What brush do I want to use? Start painting the silver on here. I bought these Tamiya paint stirrers. This was I saw these being used by Greg, and he was using them. And I don't use them for like these Tamiya pots. I like to use these for like mixing paints. But for these little testers paints, man, these things are perfect. Ah, that wonderful whiff of the tester's enamel hits you right in the childhood, doesn't it? Oh, I remember that smell from when I was back when. Yep, that's how I always. These are the first paints I always use. Because you can't really shake these paints up, because they've got this little cardboard plastic thingy here in the top, and that pools all the paint in there, and then you can't mix it anymore. It's really frustrating, but you know, what do? You just buy these paint stirrers. Oh, sure. So I found them one day. Tamiya products are kind of harder to find around where I am, but I know one hobby store that does kind of keep more tools and things in there than anything else. So I wish I had these when I was using Humbrol paints. I would have loved to have a tool like this. You got this little spoon on this end, which I love to use for mixing paints that I'm like gonna custom make and stuff. And then you got this flat kind of paddle. The Tamiya has these nice ones. I wish that Tamiya enamels were in Canada. So they come in kind of the same bottle. They're basically the same size. And then they have this little bowl in the top like the acrylics do. I bought a whole bunch of these little mixing jars because I wanted to make a bunch of custom RLM German colors and stuff. So, doesn't really register that well on my camera. I've got a really weird camera. It was designed for YouTube, apparently, but it focuses in on a really weird frame rate. I can't even explain it. You know, you can see it, and it's so hard to get adjusting right. And then it picks up on the darndest things. But there you can see I colored a little bit in there. It's gonna look really cool when it's all done. I really like this look of the steel on top of it. If I had masks and stuff like that, like if it came in the kit, I would use them. And I would airbrush this on the steel color on top of it, and it would look spectacular. But I really, really like this this gunmetal from Tamiya as well. So there it's coming along. So I'm not gonna bore you guys anymore with this. I'm trying to think of a way how to paint the lights, or not the lights, but the windows. I was debating whether or not to do it, and I think I am gonna do it. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try mixing a bunch of colors and see how it works. One of the ones I'm thinking of doing is white with a little bit of silver in it, or like sky gray with some silver in it. That'll just change the tone of the color a little bit more, and it will it'll if I make it metallic, it'll blend in with this a little more, I think, and you know, it won't kind of pop out at you. And based on the box art, they have kind of a brownish color, kind of flesh tone, I guess, and that's totally different than what I'm doing. Because on the box art, they actually, you can see inside of the windows and stuff, so you can kind of see where they were going with that. So anyways, I'm going to keep painting these parts and then show you guys what I've come up with when I'm done.